Hey guys.
It's the Spider Pals podcast, back with another episode. Joined by our special guest,
313spidey.
Right. Well, welcome on.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, when exactly did you start getting into the whole cosplay
So
deal?
I've been kind of planning things here and there for the past 2 years, but never really did anything. And then within the past 6 months or so, I got my first spider suit, which was No Way Home swingsuit. And then after that, I got the suit that I'm wearing now, the Far From Home suit. And
Far From Home.
Yep, just kind of working from there. Just kind of eventually was like, you know what, screw it. I found a way to get a good suit, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So I did it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, go on, Addie. I just do want. You're recording this, right?
Yeah, I'm recording. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
I like
Okay, just want to make
triple
sure we were doing this whole episode and just not hit the record button the whole time. But yeah, so I guess what kind of inspired you to get the No Way Home final swing suit as your first suit to get?
Three Spider-Men together. What? Come on. And it's the mix of, it's got the Raimi esque logo on the, and then it's got you can see the TASM inspo on the red webbing, it's got the dots on it, kind of how the TASM suit does. You can see the inspo from all three of Spider-Man put into one suit, and I was like, that's the one. That's the first.
Yeah. It's a good suit. Yeah, when I was doing my order for RPC Studio, after I'd saved up enough for that, I was going back and forth between Final Swing and Avengers Campus, and I was like, I don't ever see a whole lot of people do Avengers Campus, and I really like the Homecoming suit, but I just really prefer the logo of the Avengers Campus one. I just like the longer legs and the back. I just prefer the back logo, as I've told you before. So I ultimately decided to do that one. Plus, I haven't really seen a lot of people do Avengers Campus, so I just thought that would be a cool one to add to the community.
That's true, and it's different. It's similar to the Homecoming suit, but it's different at the same time. You can distinguish the two, and
Right, yeah, for sure. But yeah, and then Addie, when did you get started?
I started around the same time as you guys. I think Zach was the first of us to get an actual suit. And then I followed. I can't remember if I followed Zach or Bravery. I think Bravery and I got ours around the same time, and
Yeah,
that's when I just wanted the Gwen one because I thought it looked awesome, and that was I think that was the really only girl Spider-Man suit that was kind of out. I could have ordered a Tom Holland one, which I might do later down the road, but I wanted to do something that was specific. So, yeah.
that's fair. I've seen some of the female Tom Holland suits, and I think they look pretty good. I obviously like the Tom suits more than any other suit. So
Tom suits are my favorite. It's the Spider-Man I grew up with, so it just it's closer to home, I guess. So I've always loved those suits a lot.
right.
Yeah, they are definitely they do hit different. I think like I've told I've told you before, I favorites TASM too. Just the movie, not 50% of it I love, 50% I hate, but the suit is just incredible. It's all time favorite.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
It's amazing. No pun
it is. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you started your $40 Amazon suit.
The Amazon suit.
Yeah.
I heard it rip.
It hasn't ripped yet, but
No.
but yeah, I got too tall for it now.
Oh really?
Yeah. It started stretching real bad in the knees,
Oh.
and it's not black fabric.
So you can see right through it.
Yeah, you saw right through it. It just
That's what happened with my $50 Gwen suit from Amazon. I grew too tall.
Yeah, definitely happens. But yeah, the main thing that I really like about the print costume suits is that they don't white out as much, in the knees. And I think I have my Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit, specifically in the knees and the elbows, it whites out really bad, but everything else looks great on it. But that's the only one I really have issues with whiting out, besides my other my Far From Home Tom Holland suit. It's probably my least favorite just because it's thin. It's so thin. Like, let me go grab it real quick.
Yeah, I've got the print costume, thick color fabric, or no, the upgraded lycra or whatever.
Yeah.
And
the suit.
if you stretch the black fabric on this, I can't grab it because it's my hands. But if you stretch it too much, it gets white. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the. I mean, it looks better on camera than it does, but just like it whites out. It's so thin.
Yeah, you can see through it almost.
You can like see your closet through it.
Yeah,
right.
I was gonna say I could see the closet light through it.
Yeah. The Amazon suit that I ordered, the white at the top, like was like basically see through. Like I had to wear like a whole undersuit thing, so like definitely getting the upgraded one was the best option.
Yeah, I wondered because I just got my wife her first suit and it's a silk suit, so I was curious how that's gonna turn out from print costume. I got the upgraded fabrics, but it's mostly white, so I'm like, see how that goes.
Yeah, the silk suit looks really cool. That's one that I'm thinking about getting later down the road.
Yeah, she's excited for it, so.
Yeah, then you got the upgraded fabric on your suit as well. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, so in terms of like, obviously you're married, you've got a kid, super exciting.
Yeah.
What is that like? What does cosplay look like with having like a wife and a kid to like, provide for, obviously, but also it's like incorporate them into the hobby as well?
A lot different than doing it single and without a kid. So obviously, like you said, financially, you have to make sure like all your priorities are taken care of first. But besides that, I mean, he's little. My son, he's 1, so finding like a suitor for anything for him is kind of impossible.
Right.
We found like outfits or stuff that we'll put him in for the cons, and then I've came up with ideas like making him a homecoming suit, or something like that. But with it just kind of really, I'm a huge nerd. It's blurred out right now, and I don't really know how to work Zoom, but I've got you've seen it before, my whole shelf of Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
It's in my bedroom, so she had to get used to it. And I found the silk suit and was like, hey, you want to do it with me? And she was like, okay, yeah. And so it just kind of folded from there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just be yourself with who you're with. And if you're lucky, maybe they'll join with you and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But then, and I was also curious, like, how often do like exactly how many people know that you're like into like cosplay, and like how open are you about that sort of thing?
Not very. So this is the first time I've ever taken my mask off.
Okay.
Around like my friends. I've got one friend that knows my wife, obviously, and then one family member. They were just here when I got one of my suits, and they were like, what is that? So, but other than that, nobody else knows really. And it's not that I'm like keeping it to myself. It's more just I have a kid and I'm dressing up as Spider-Man, like
right.
But yeah. So
that's cool. I mean, I feel like, have you ever like, how much like do you ever receive like criticism or like being made fun of or whatever for doing it?
Yeah. So like I said, one time I don't know if I told you this, but I wore my suit to work one time, and
I think you did.
Yeah, we had to go and stand on the road and dance with a little sign. I was an oil change technician, and I was standing on the road, and this guy in a big old diesel truck drives past and yells something really dumb at me that I'm not going to repeat. But it kind of like, it hurt my feelings, because it was like, really, you didn't have to say that, man. And then not even 2 minutes later, another car goes past on the road, and there's a little kid in the car. And all I hear is, "Hey, Spider-Man," and like the most movie child yelling at Spider-Man that you could possibly imagine. And it broke my heart, like, and warmed it at the same time, like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That moment right there was when I was like, this is what I'm doing. I am Spider-Man. This is my I am Peter Parker, I am Spider-Man moment, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When we dressed up for the first time at the movies, I'd say it was about a year ago in September, and we went to go watch the re-release of No Way Home, the extended version, and we were all in our
more
suits.
fun stuff version.
Yeah, the more fun stuff version. And we like wore all of our suits, and like I was so excited. It was my first time ever wearing my suit. And then when I got back home, because I posted those pictures on like my personal Instagram, I got back home and I went to school, and it was like so many people were like didn't know what to do about it, and like I didn't think it was a big deal because I mean what people do in their free time is what they do in their free time. I mean everyone has their own interests, but I had like a bunch of people say like a lot of like mean things to me, and I was just kind of like pushed through it just because I was like that's what happens when you try and do kind of stuff like this.
So real quick, I remember in one of your other podcast episodes, you said something about, or before you guys took off your masks, you said that before you did your guys' face reveal, you said that you were scared to do the face reveal with Miles because you were scared to get bullied in school. And I wanted to reach out to you, but I had just started talking to Zach. But I wanted to reach out to you and just like, I don't know you that well, but like, don't let other people tell you what you can or can't do. That's the whole point of being a spider person is anybody can wear the mask. Everybody's like Stanley said it. Like that's the point. Don't let somebody just because they might say something mean or like do something, just stand up for yourself. Be like, no, if this is what you want to do, which clearly it is, just do it. Like, and I mean, yeah, it's a lot easier to say than it is to just do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, once you do it enough, it becomes a habit and you learn not to care really.
Yeah, definitely. After we did that podcast, it was like while I was editing it, I was watching Into the Spider-Verse, and I just like kind of was like, you know, people are gonna make fun of it either way because at some point somebody's gonna figure it out, and like
Right.
It's bound to happen. And I just kind of thought about it. I'm like, well, if we go out and we take off our masks, then maybe somebody else will be inspired to do it, and like maybe that'll be their moment. And
Right.
I just tried to think of it as inspiring others instead of like if anyone like kind of gets inspiration from that. I just tried to think of it that way and just tried to be like, it doesn't matter, like it'll be fine. And when we took off our masks at the podcast, like I had a couple people at school that kind of like noticed it. I guess it popped up on their feed or something, and just a couple weird looks, and then I got like a couple weird name calling, and then that was about it, and it kind of blew over. So I'm glad that we decided to take off our masks for the podcast because I think it flows a lot better when we can see each other.
Yeah, and you guys can hear each other a lot better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Same. My nose is not dying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. I mean, for me personally, I mean, a few people know at work. They follow my Here's Your Spidey account, and they like. There's this one girl. She's the host. She says absolutely nothing about it. Never mentions it at work. Like she follows everything. She knows it's me. Just never even mentions it at all. The other two, they constantly mention it. They don't ever poke fun at me, but they're just like posting another like reel, or when are you posting another. When are you posting more of your story or something? It's like they know about the podcast and they've listened to it a few times. So that's always fun, you know, when you can express yourself and, you know, not have the full like criticism coming after you. My boss, when he found out, he did make a few gestures, but you know, nothing too bad.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I kind of had that too because I had the one guy at work that's always because I wear it under my clothes, right? You know, so I always have this one guy at work that when I'm done changing, it takes 15 minutes to put one of these on, right? It takes
right.
Yeah.
So, and they know, so they'll be like, "Hey, you got your Spidey suit on?" Every time I'm walking out of the bathroom, just unzip the hoodie.
Just yeah.
You're just, you know. But yeah, you gotta have fun with it. Like if they're gonna poke fun at you, have fun back. You know, like be like, yeah, I do actually. You know.
Yeah. I have a couple of my friends at school that know about it. It's like 4 or 5 of them, and then that's like all the people that like kind of know and talk about it with me, just because like it's a lot of like, when are you uploading the next episode, and like, when are you posting something. I know mainly right now I post a lot about the podcast, but I have some posts lined up. I've been crazy busy, so hopefully I'll get some other posts out, but they always kind of ask about it and just see what's going on. And I started doing Spider-Man for kids' birthdays parties.
Yeah.
I did the first one for my cousin. She's around like 4, and it was her 5th birthday party, and it was the cutest thing I think I've ever done. It definitely made it being like all the being made fun of was worth it just for that one birthday party. Just because seeing the little kids' faces is something I don't think I'm ever gonna forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great.
That's kind of something I want to do with my son.
You also went to a birthday party.
I did do a birthday party as well, yes. There were tons of kids. They were everywhere. They just followed me around the whole time. I was in my TASM 2 suit, and it's funny because the mask, it's got the urethane raised webbing, right? But the rest of the suit, it doesn't, and they picked up on that. And it was funny how much detail. It's like, I didn't think they would notice that little detail, but they noticed that the webbing was real on the mask, but not on the rest of the suit. And they, another thing, they were constantly, because the lenses on the TASM suit there, it's raised. So they were able to just like knock this off constantly. And there was at one point where it fell on the ground and a whole bunch of kids were around me. And I was so scared. Like, one kid almost stepped on it and just smashed the entire thing. It would have been awful. But luckily, it's still intact and we're good. But yeah, it was fun. Luckily, there's a playground there too. So got to do some upside down flips and tricks with that, which is always fun. Yeah.
I haven't been able to do any flips and tricks yet, but I had surgery back in October on my leg, and now I'm like back into the Spider-Man pose. I can kind of do almost everything I could, so I haven't been able to do any tricks with kids yet, but I'm excited to eventually do it.
That's awesome. Brave, have you ever like I don't know, you and I haven't even really talked about this much at all, I don't think, but it's like, have you ever like gotten any criticisms or been made fun of really at all?
It's the 3 friends at work, but they usually talk to you about it.
Right.
But they know. But they don't care.
Yeah.
They think it's cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. But yeah, it's always fun when you can like do it with a group of friends, and especially when a brother and cousin, it's fun to do it with other people. Now you can do it with your wife and kid as well one day. It's like that'll be awesome.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was actually curious. So what kind of like inspired you to like start wearing the suit like on a daily basis? Like I'm a huge fan, but I'm not like that dedicated.
So I don't wear it every day. It's kind of like, feel weird having to put a number to it, but like maybe 4, 5 times a week, 3, 4, 5 times a week. So more than like normal person. Obviously, I clean it and stuff. Shout out Anakin Monkey. Thank you for the YouTube video on how to clean.
Yeah, love that man.
Right, absolutely. But yeah, I wear it a lot more than a normal person. I guess I relate to more than just Spider-Man. I relate to Peter Parker as like a character, as a person, I guess, if that makes sense. So like, I don't know, just confidence booster. I don't really know. I just like wearing it. It's comfortable.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
No, and I completely agree on the whole like relating to Peter aspect. It's funny because I can relate to like some aspects about like each Peter Parker I can relate to in some way.
Yeah. For sure.
Which is always great. Mostly Tom and Andrew, but
for me, it's not even just the movie ones. Like I've told you before, I really love the 90s animated series. So like I can relate to that too. And it's just Peter Parker as a character in general is just he was created to be relatable, and that's just who I've always admired ever since I was a little kid, you know? And that's just how it's been. Plus, growing up with all the movies definitely helped.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of inspired me to get into it is watching the Tobey Maguire movies for the first time when I was 13. So yes, and like by that time, a few of Andrew's movies had come out then, and then maybe Homecoming had come
I
out.
think Homecoming came out.
But I still like it feels like I grew up with Tobey because those were the first ones I watched. But I always thought it was like really inspiring. It's like, oh, teenagers can be heroes too, and like that sort of thing. Like you don't have to be an adult and all this stuff. Can be a total loser and still be here. So
Yeah.
that's always great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely related to Peter Parker way more than just like, because Spider-Man's awesome, and I think that's like everyone wants to be Spider-Man, but then like Peter Parker's also like the most relatable, like, because he's also a teenager or like a young adult, and depending on what you're watching, and it's nice to see like a hero struggle with like daily life problems that we all have too.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think there's even a new run. I don't know for sure, but I think there's a new run where he's an adult and married with kids, and it's like that's nice for me now because I'm the same boat. So it's like it's cool to always have a version of Peter to be able to relate to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I'm even with Across the Spider-Verse with Peter B. Parker. He's got Mayday.
And even with Miles, like you've got a young Spider-Man now and an older Spider-Man that like it's cool. Like I don't know. I like what they're doing with the Spider-Verse movies, and I hope that they expand on those more.
I like that they're
Especially.
sorry.
No, sorry.
I like that they're kind of emphasizing like anyone can wear the mask, because it was really nice to see it in Across the Spider-Verse of like all the different like people. Like there was one scene, I was in a wheelchair when I watched the movie, and I saw a girl with a wheelchair, and I was like, that's awesome. Like they're literally playing into I don't know how she does it, but like they have even a horse. They have like the most random but like the most diverse set of like superheroes, and I think that's such a good thing, just because everyone in the world that wants to relate to it can.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's really fun. Yeah, just seeing the diversity and all the different, like even the art styles and like just the attention to detail they play with each, like the way characters are animated. Like Hobie and Ben Reilly, they're animated differently than the rest. It's so well done.
Yeah.
And if you notice with Ben, the Scarlet Spider, if you notice the way his animation was, it was like a little darker the way it was animated. It matched his attitude. His little dark, depressing, brooding attitude.
Yeah. Think about my past.
Over here sounding like he was Batman.
Yeah, he did.
Something like you're probably like whatever with his muscles or whatever.
Heads up, we have 10 minutes left. I guess it just told me we have 10 minutes left until we have to like upgrade. That's later down the line, maybe.
Yeah.
we're not
quite that there.
Right.
We're close.
Yeah, well, I guess since we got 10 minutes, we're all going to ICC, Indiana Comic Con.
Yeah.
So
wait, you're going?
What are some of your like plans for that? What are some things you're most excited about?
Well, I'm excited to meet you guys, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. It'll be our first con together as a family, and my first con in general, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be my first con as well.
My first one as well.
So I'm excited for that. And then she's from Indiana. My wife, she's from Indiana, so it's just,
yeah, you're telling me about that.
Yeah, it'll be cool just to like get back down there, be able to see her family and stuff like that. And
awesome.
Yeah, living all the way up in Detroit, so it's a bit of a drive to get down there. So yeah,
that is really cool. Do you have like your day, like the day scheduled out, like which suits you're gonna wear each day?
Kinda. So I'll probably wear the No Way Home Final Swing the first day, and then the second day the Far From Home, and then for the third day I am hoping to have it, but I don't know if I will in time. Probably not. But it's the 1994 animated series, Spider Carnage.
Yeah.
and
Ooh,
I'm
You can tell me about that.
about that. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. So
yeah.
I'm that's a dream right now. So we'll see if it happens.
Yeah, that's cool. Addie, do you have yours figured out? Which
I
days?
think I have it figured out. So I'm gonna go for Gwen for 2 days, just cause like I am in love with this suit. It's awesome. So I think I'm gonna do that for the Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday I'm gonna go in my Wanda suit. So I have the WandaVision like complete set. So I was gonna do the Multiverse of Madness and like adapt it to it, but I am running out of time. I have so much stuff going on right now, so I think I'm just gonna go as the WandaVision Wanda.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Are you?
Well, I have this idea where like I have a bunch of like I have the since I got the new mask, I have the old mask that came with the Amazon suit. So I was like, I could throw that together with some other stuff and then make a homemade suit. And then like every day I would have a better looking suit. So like Friday I have the homemade suit, and then like Saturday I have like my new suit but with nothing with it. And then like the last day of my suit, but with like the backpack and the hoodie and everything.
Yeah.
You should. That'd be sick.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm probably Friday day one. I'm probably gonna do. I'll probably do TASM 2 first day. Saturday I'll do Avengers Campus, the RPC suit, and then Sunday I'll probably do, if it's done in time. It probably will be. I hope to get it done.
I really hope
Symbiote
it
suit.
is.
Yeah.
Um,
I love
TASM 3.
It's looking
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
super excited.
I am too.
It looks so cool already. I am so excited to see it and like in person.
It does.
Yeah, it's about halfway done. My buddy, he printed the shelf for me, and he's printing the lenses right now. He's got to do the lens frames, so I just need to get those. I mean, really, the hardest part about doing the symbiote suit is honestly just tracing out the. So I already have it done in Sharpie and printed onto the actual spandex, but just puffy painting all the lines for the spider. That's just the hardest part.
Yeah.
All the black's a piece of, complete piece of cake.
Fine details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then I think kind of how you were going for like gonna do
Just get better
every day, kind of foreshadowing a few things. What I actually have, let me go grab it real quick. So yeah,
I know what this is. I think.
yeah. So I was telling you about it, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. So
wait,
my sister did, and so we got a little Venom symbiote in a jar.
That's awesome.
It looks so cool.
So I'm thinking. So
That's awesome.
actually, yeah, I have another one too. She made me 2.
We'll have to use it for the photo shoots that we do when we're down there.
We were planning on doing some photo shoots as well. So maybe we can get you in on a few of those.
Yeah,
that'd be super fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then got this in like a little petri dish.
That's sweet.
That looks awesome.
Symbiote there. So I was thinking about like the day before I wear the symbiote suit, I like have this like either in a backpack or I'm holding it or something.
Yeah.
To like foreshadow like the symbiote was gonna come. But
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool for the people that notice. Just like, hey,
right, yeah.
That would be so cool.
That would be. But yeah, very exciting. Super excited.
So I guess before we get off, because we have like 4 minutes left, I have a countdown on my screen. I don't know why it's showing me. But do you
Yeah, I
have
see
any
it, too.
questions for us that you wanted to ask?
Where do you guys? I guess my biggest question is, what is your goal for the next year with the podcast? Like, I know that's a big question, but for the next year, like, where do you guys hope to be with this?
I don't know, because we kind of threw it together as a spur of the moment kind of thing. Like, it started as a joke. Like, our parents joked about it, and they're like, oh, you should do a podcast. And then, it happened, so.
Hey, I mean, it's cool. I obviously, I mean, I'm here, so. Yeah.
I mean, I guess just, kind of post consistently, just kind of see where it goes. I mean, obviously, I think we all want to improve for things like camera quality, audio quality, just like, the general, like, YouTube improvements.
Right.
Obviously, maybe, I think one thing, Addie, with our advertising, I think we do need to lock in like a good, like, kind of like consistent, like palette that we can use for the advertising. Because right now it's been a little random.
It's been
looking.
all over
like,
the
granted,
place.
it's all over the place. Granted, they all look really good. Like all
Yeah.
the things that you and I've made for it all look good, like advertisements and whatnot. But I think if we nail down a consistent, cohesive design
Yeah.
that we can use for all the
It's easily recognizable. Now.
Yeah, that's probably the big thing. I think just getting kind of the word out more and just having I have like a little like I say a little list, but I have like 3 or 4 people that are on TikTok that I would love to have come on to the podcast. I know you guys have some people you would love to talk to. So I think just getting more guests on and talking to more people from all over the place about just Marvel and Spider-Man content and all of that stuff.
Yeah. I feel like if he hadn't come on for our second podcast episode, getting Miles David back on would be a goal.
Yeah. Getting him back on would be awesome. You know, especially after we made more improvements, because we were a little disappointed about the audio quality of the episode. We were like, oh, come on. But, you know, and then honestly, it's like once we're done with ICC, I think it'd be awesome to have you on again. We can all just talk about like our experience there and like, you know, we can like post and share pictures like during the podcast. And like, I think that would be really cool to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, if you guys ever want any help with it or you want me to join for like any interviews, I'm always down. So.
Awesome.
That's
free most nights. So
awesome.
Sweet.
All right.
One other thing, you know, we could you know, we post this on YouTube, right? So we could turn comments on and then we could get like ideas from the comment section. So like
comments
you know,
are
like,
on, actually.
I noticed if you guys don't have the comments on, you should turn those on and see if anybody wants to drop ideas or anything. Like leave it at the end as like an end clip.
Okay. I will.
Yeah, I know our first 2 episodes have the comments on, but the 3rd episode doesn't for some reason. So
okay, I will go back and look at that and see if we can fix it. So if comments are working for this video, then just if anyone's watching, go down and leave suggestions because we're open to it.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
Coming on. Pleasure having you. It's awesome to talk. Get to know you more. Get to see you in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Being here.
Cool. We'll sign off. We'll see you in the next episode.
Awesome. See you guys later.
Bye. Hi. You guys are already masked up. I'm not. I'm slacking.
Like hate for it?
I don't think so.
Perfect. We'll keep going with it.
Get like started on anything? I'm like so excited to meet
Miles.
Yeah.
Shamik Moore.
Yeah.
So cool.
I'm so excited.
Okay. Oh. Hi guys, welcome back. Wait.
You just say, hey guys.
Hey, okay,
we gotta have this.
sorry.
We have to have continuity.
It's been
We're
a long
professional.
day. Okay.
We've done this 1,000 times. Yeah. I have you trapped in my well-defined musculature.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
He's just so goofy, but like so dark and serious at the same time.
Good job, guys. I will edit.
Good job.